What's going on, guys? My name is Andrew and this is Kos Sports. In case you guys haven't heard, Bryant announced earlier today that he will be transferring from Clemson after Trevor Lawrence was named the starter for Clemson's game this week against Syracuse. Now, a lot of people have been saying that Clemson basically threw Bryant under the bus. That's actually not true, and I'm actually here to break down what actually happened and get the people the correct facts so they can get a better idea of what actually happened and kind of maybe understand that Clemson did everything they could to handle this situation the best they could, which I think actually it is as good of a situation as they could ask for, and honestly, I don't know what else they could have done better. So earlier this week on Sunday, Dabo Swinney announced that Trevor Lawrence would be starting the game against Syracuse this week. However, he did say that Bryant would be getting a lot of playing time in this game, or at least some. But Bryant, I think, took it more as, oh, he's done for. He's not playing anymore this season, and he realized that he could take his talents somewhere else. Which I completely understand him wanting to do that. I mean, especially when you've gone 16-2 in your career as a starter, you led your team to an ACC championship, its third straight ACC championship, and third straight college football playoff appearance. I get that. I really do. And some people act like, oh, just Dabo just completely, he just said, oh, Kelly, you're never going to play at Clemson again. That's not true. He was still going to get a chance, and it was only guaranteed that Trevor Lawrence was going to start this next game. Heck, if he had played bad and Bryant had come in and played really well, kind of like how in Texas A&M he played better, there's a good chance I think he would have gotten the starting quarterback job back. But unfortunately, that's not how he took it, and he took the best chance he could to transfer to guarantee that he would get be the starter all season somewhere else next year, which I totally understand him wanting to do that. Now, the thing that really is kind of bothering me about the situation is that also Bryant himself has made it sound like Clemson threw him under the bus. And that's actually not true. I want to read some of the stuff that Bryant did say, though. And this was an exclusive article from the Greenville News. He said, they asked me how I feel about it when he was talking to Dabo. And he said, I was like, I'm not discrediting Trevor. He's doing everything asked of him, but on my side of it, I feel like I haven't done anything not to be the starter. I've been here, I've waited my turn, I've done everything y'all have asked me to do, plus more. Okay, that's fair. And then he said, I've never been a distraction, I've never been in trouble with anything. To me, it was kind of a slap in the face. Okay, I get where he's coming from on that, but at the end of the day, that's not what happened. It's not that it was a slap in the face. It's not like it's not that you were just like, you aren't just like handed the role of being starter at a school like Clemson when it comes to being quarterback. You earn it. And based off this season so far, Trevor Lawrence has played better. I mean, it's nothing against Bryant, but Trevor's played better. I can go and look at some stats for you, because overall it's pretty obvious. And yards wise are actually kind of even for the most part, but where it's a huge difference is in the points scored. And let me just pull up the stats for you real quick. Okay, so looking at these stats right here, let's look at passing first. Trevor Lawrence so far this year, as far as passing goes, is 39 of 61 for 600 yards and 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. His completion percentage is about 64%. That's good. Yards per attempt is very good, 9.8, and average per attempt is 11.3. So that's also really good. And his passer rating is 188.7. Now let's look at Bryant's stats. You go here. He's 35 of 53, 456 yards, 8.6 yards per attempt, 8.5 average yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And also a passer rating of 147. Now, yeah, like I said, the yards aren't actually that much different. I mean, yes, Trevor's thrown for more yards overall, which makes sense. He's more of a pocket passer. He doesn't really have as much of the dual threat ability as Bryant, but he has been throwing the ball better. I mean, the difference is 9 passing touchdowns versus 2 passing touchdowns. Now, the difference between the two, obviously, is their running abilities. Trevor Lawrence is nowhere close to as good of a runner as Kelly Bryant. And it shows in the stats. We got here, Trevor Lawrence, 9 attempts rushing for 31 yards, averaging 3.4 yards per carry. Kelly Bryant, 30 attempts and 144 yards and 4.8 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. Now that is a factor that Kelly Bryant has that Trevor Lawrence really hasn't developed yet. Trevor Lawrence, can he run when he needs to? Yeah, he's kind of like Matt Ryan. If you guys have ever watched Matt Ryan in the NFL, he can run when he needs to. In fact, 2 weeks ago, he actually scored 2 touchdowns running the ball. But besides the point, Trevor can run when he needs to. Is he a dual threat necessarily? No. In high school, he was labeled a pocket passer, and that's really what he is. But with Clemson's offense right now, they don't need him to run the ball. They don't need the quarterback running the football. They have guys like Travis Etienne and Tavian Feaster and Adam Choice, a great set of 3 running backs who can run that ball. Even, I believe it's LJ Dixon, who can also run the ball. So they need a guy who can pass the ball. And quite frankly, if you look at the games and the drives where Trevor is in versus the drives where Kelly Bryant is in, the offense just seems to click a lot more, even just like running the football. And it showed. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, on top of the 9 touchdown passes he's thrown, he scored. The team has scored on a lot more drives, I feel, if you go back and look, whether it be rushing touchdowns and stuff like that, just because even when he's been in there, because he's been making great throws. And yeah, is Trevor Lawrence just a true freshman? Yes, absolutely. Is he going to make some mistakes? Yes. But overall, throwing the ball, he already looks better throwing the football than Kelly Bryant does. And that's nothing against Kelly Bryant. It's just Trevor Lawrence is just a better passer. It's just fact. It's not. I don't have anything against Kelly Bryant. Never have. In fact, going into this year, I wanted Kelly Bryant to be the starter the whole year. I didn't want this quarterback controversy. Not at all. I wanted this to be basically just, oh, Kelly Bryant, he improved enough in the offseason where he can be the starting quarterback and not feel threatened by Trevor Lawrence, and then everyone's happy, and who knows, maybe win a national championship with Kelly Bryant as starting quarterback. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way. It sucks. I wish it wasn't like that, but sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. And now Kelly Bryant's transferring, and a lot of people are saying he's a coward for running, but at the end of the day, how would you feel if you're the starting quarterback of a team in which you led to a college football playoff and a conference championship, and was also named conference or championship MVP, and now you're just all of a sudden getting sapped by a true freshman? You have to also think about where Kelly Bryant is coming from. Do I think he could have maybe stayed? Yes, because there was a good chance he could have even earned that starting job back. Apparently he didn't think so, and I understand that. Go somewhere where you don't feel like you have to try and fight really hard to get your spot. And Kelly, I know you probably will not watch this video, but if you do, I would personally like to thank you for what you did at Clemson. You were great last year and helped a team that originally probably no one thought was going to even make the playoff last year, win its 3rd ACC championship and make the playoff for a 3rd consecutive year. I hope wherever you go, you thrive, even if it is South Carolina or any other school or any other rival school that you decide to transfer to. I wish you nothing but the best, and just know I will continue to support you wherever you go. And most of Clemson, I believe, will as well, as they should. Well, this brings me also to another point. For all of you that booed Kelly Bryant at games, shame on you. Shame on you. I've seen people actually do this. And there was the fact that this year, at the beginning of this year, Dabo had to come out and make a comment that said, please don't boo whoever the starter is. And basically, because he said Kelly Bryant was going to be starting quarterback, please don't boo him. We shouldn't even have to worry about that. As a university and as fans, we should be behind whoever's the starter. Yes, we may disagree with it, but at the end of the day, you got to be behind whoever's starting, and and it helps with their confidence. How would you feel if, even though you thought you earned the job, you have a bunch of your own fans booing you when you take the field? But that would be kind of hurtful, right? It's just, you got to think where Kelly Bryant is coming from. Do I think that Trevor Lawrence deserves to start? Absolutely. But I am also trying to look at it in Kelly Bryant's perspective. It's nothing against Kelly Bryant. I just personally thought Trevor Lawrence looked better this year. But like I said, you have to look at it from Kelly Bryant's perspective and what he's thinking in his future. Now, a lot of people are saying that Dabo didn't handle this situation the right way. That is not true at all. I'm actually going to read you a quote that makes it so like he gave Kelly Bryant the option to transfer. And here's is actually something he said yesterday, I believe, in his press conference. And it says, if I was deceitful in some way, I could have huddled the coaches up and said, hey, let's make sure we start him, as in Kelly Bryant, for Syracuse. And that way he's got no options. That's not how I operate. I'm just trying to do what's right, and I'm not going to ever apologize for that. He gave him the option potentially to leave. He didn't want to throw him under the bus. Because I had thought about that as, oh, why don't you maybe start him this next game so he can't go anywhere? But that's not right. And I agree that I respect Dabo for doing that. He's always been a high class or a top class guy, and this is just another one of those things. He hated doing this. He loves Kelly Bryant. He just is doing what is better for the team. And plus, he's also, a couple times in the past, been a little hesitant to start the younger guy over the senior, the freshman over the senior. Clemson had the same situation with Deshaun Watson and Cole Stout in 2014. Cole Stout originally was a starter, and then Deshaun came in, and it took Dabo a couple games to get it finally figured out Deshaun was a better quarterback, but he did figure it out. But he just didn't want to go through that again. I mean, he kind of did, but thankfully, unlike 2014, he didn't have any losses as a result to the season. They're still very much in the driver's seat in the ACC, and have a huge chance to make the college football playoff for a 4th straight year. Now, a lot of people are probably wondering, where is Kelly Bryant going to go? Now, that's a good question, honestly. Now, I think I've heard a lot of people say Florida, and thinking about it, that's actually, I think, a good fit for him. I mean, you look at what the offense Dan Mullen runs down in Florida, it's very similar to Clemson's. And keep in mind, this guy was the offensive coordinator in Florida when Tim Tebow was there, and we saw how successful he was. And he likes a running quarterback. You've seen what he's done with guys in the NFL. Dak Prescott, Nick Fitzgerald at Mississippi State, who's going to, I think, make it in the NFL potentially. He's been good with quarterbacks, and I would not be surprised if Kelly Bryant would go there. I've also heard West Virginia, since Will Grier, this is his last year. He could go there and hopefully give them a good dual threat. I mean, Will Grier's overall a good thrower, but it's not as great of a runner as Kelly Bryant. Other places I've heard maybe even, honestly, maybe even South Carolina. I don't know about that because they already got Jake Bentley. Unless he goes pro this year, I don't see him doing that. I don't see him doing Clemson dirty like that. But from what I heard, I think Florida is the top candidate right now. I mean, we have honestly no idea. There was an article on ESPN that were saying, oh, we're some of his top choices. Fortunately, it was ESPN Plus, so I'm not going to pay $5 to read that article when I can see what other people have been saying about it overall. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, and if you are watching this video and you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a like. Every like helps a lot. And also be on the lookout for the top 25 plays from week 5 of the college football season coming out this Sunday. And hopefully there will be some good ones. Hopefully maybe a Clemson-Syracuse play will be in there. I will try and keep it as I try to keep these top 25 plays as unbiased as possible. But anyway, have a great day. Go Tigers.